Well, boss, somewhere in there is our power core.
Looks like someone tried shooting the door, but the damage is entirely superficial.
Amateurs.
Anybody home?
You know, boss, I don't think that's ever going to work.
You never know. A touchscreen interface.
Hey, boss, look! That repair bot has a floating helper just like you do.
There's a red, burning, crashed hover bus and a writhing electrical cable. And that's the first thing you notice?
I can't help it. She's beautiful.
Well, you're not getting to her until we deal with this cable. The bus must have snapped the cable on the way down. Given the electricity it's spitting out, I can't get close to it.
Too bad we can't just plug it into the unique.
Crispin, can you fly around the cable and push it off the street?
But didn't you just say it's too dangerous to get close to it?
I'm giving you a chance to impress her, Crispin. Just fly up high enough that you don't get close to the sparks.
Fine.
A floating light bot. It's holding a spool of copper wiring.
It? She? And what is she?
A crashed hover bus.
So we're gonna fix it up and do something amazing with it, right, boss?
No, it's not our property or our problem. It looks like he's trying to fix that crashed hover bus. She's holding a spool of copper wiring. Excuse me.
Can't you see I'm working?
I've said it before, but I'll say it again. You do know this ship is never gonna fly again, right?
You're right about that. This old airing bus could hardly fly to begin with. Still, there might be some parts here that Metromine can use to get another bus up and running. Anyway, what do you...
Hey, boss, ask him about his helper.
What happened here?
What does it look like? The airing bus's motor gave out and it crashed. Into the only bridge leading from Main Street to the rest of the city center.
Was anyone on board?
Sure, but they've already been salvaged.
Salvaged? Not repaired?
Can't repair without parts. You can't get parts without salvage.
What about building new parts?
Yeah, I mean, what factory? Look, everyone wants to spot bugs, but no one wants to write code. You got a better way to run a city? Go out and build one. Otherwise, get with the program.
You mentioned Metromine.
Yeah, sure. She's in charge of this big circuit board we call Metropole.
What can you tell me about her?
What do I look like? The information kiosk? I want to know what I think. Metromine is the best thing that ever happened in this place.
Really?
Really? You, me, all these other machines grinding about. We're just tools in the toolbox. But Metromine, she's got the master plan. Progress. Got a nice ring to it, too.
So as part of the master plan, crashing buses into roads?
Look, there's plenty of rust to go around, but Metromine's the only one scrubbing. Not her fault that some of the metal's too far down.
It looks to me like you're the one scrubbing, not Metromine.
Like I said, I'm just a tool in the box. Now, I gotta get back to work. You again. What do you want?
Since you're so close to her, do you know how I can talk to Metromine?
Ha! Talk to Metromine. Look, Metromine has an entire city to run. But her eyes and ears are everywhere. If she wants to talk to you, she will.
I'm looking for a big robot. It floats and has big claws and shoots lasers.
Scraper. After the last big cave-in, the two of us worked together on trying to fix the blue line. It's on the simple side, but a hard worker. What about him?
He took something of mine.
Yeah, salvaged it probably. That's what most of us do for Metromine these days.
Stole it.
Hey, you say router, I say router. Anyway, not my problem.
Where can I find Scraper?
Do I look like a tour guide? Piece of advice for you. Don't mess with the code if you can't handle the glitches.
Very profound. Do you know where I can find a power source?
If I did, I'd have salvaged it myself and brought it to the tower.
My friend is curious about your helper.
Ah, she's just a sidekick factor build. Thousands of them rolled off the assembly line back in the day, but she's probably the only one left. Really not much more than a floating lantern, and headlamps are a lot cheaper.
She says you're not much more than a floating plasma torch.
She's right.
When will the bridge be passable? Soon?
So I'd say something on the order of a month, give or take.
A month?
Give or take.
And there's no other way off Main Street?
Not unless you got a jetpack hiding under that jacket.
Well, at least that narrows our options down, boss.
Goodbye. She's holding a spool of copper.
I can't use myself until you give me hands.
Hey, Crispin, why don't you go talk to her?
What? No way, boss. She's way out of my league.
She's a floating lamp, Crispin. You've never had any trouble with lamps before.
Well, I've never had to talk to one before, boss. Just knock them off ledges. I've got no practice. I've never had to talk to a lamp before, boss. I've got no practice.
A reliable electric lantern that I cobbled together years ago. Hey, Crispin, how about practicing on this lamp?
Oh, good idea. Okay, here goes. You really light me up.
No.
Hey Armstrong, top me off, will you?
Okay, okay. Trust me, I know how to turn on a light.
Definitely not. Okay, that's enough practice for now.
Fine, fine. Put me down for another megacycle.
All right, Crispin, it's now or never.
Beside you, all other... Whoa! That was so easy! She gave me a clipping of her copper wiring.
Hey, that wire belongs to the city. It's coming out of your salary.
You tell him.
Thanks.
I'm pretty sure that wiring isn't up to code.
Metropol's bleak skyline.
Ahoy, my dear friend. Oswald Factorbuilt at your service.
There's no more your dear friend than Rex as your creation, you beside gear oiler.
Oh, don't mind Cornelius. He's been bitter since the first great rolling brownout.
Better, I'll show you bitter, you backbiting bot snatcher.
I think I like these guys, boss.
What's in that building?
Why, Arbiter's Court, of course. Why else would we be here?
I need to see Arbiter.
We all do, my dear friend. But the courthouse is locked, and first come, first served.
Why are you waiting in line?
Justice! I'm here for justice. To prove that I, Cornelius Factorbuilt, created this marvelous machine, Rex. Rex Cornelius built.
Ignore him, my dear friend. Candidly, he is 10-23 flops short of a kilo, if you catch my drift. The machine's name is Oswald Built. Rex Oswald Built.
This is over a name? Why not just let Rex decide?
Ridiculous. This is about principle.
This is about pride.
So, boss? Would you fight over me like this?
You could call yourself Crispin Crispian for all I care. As long as you still pull things off ledges for me, that is.
Glad to know I'm loved.
I'm looking for a big robot. It floats and has lots of claws and shoots lasers. It stole something of mine. Have you seen it?
Indeed. The robot you described sounds like Scraper, Metromind's enforcer. Whatever he took is gone forever.
I refuse to accept that.
Oh, he refuses. How delightful.
Do you know where I can find a power source?
Alas, my friend, power is not so abundant in Metropole as it once was.
Nagank Metromine seized it all, seized it, and doles it out. And there's hardly enough to go around now.
Metromind keeps all power sources in the Great Tower where the Council used to meet. If you want to share it, you will need to pay her in megacycles.
Megacycles?
Yes, megacycles, ninny. CPU cycles, brain power. Kind of power she really wants. Low-rate processor was made for running trains, not a city.
How are you going to decide who gets Rex?
For the law, fool. The law.
Please excuse my brother. He can barely remember pi to the 23rd digit, let alone his manners.
For...
I rest my case. Suffice it to say, old chap, we await the reopening of the courthouse. Or more precisely, we await a summons from Arbiter who will decide our case.
Who will say whose contribution was more important? Who will say, in fact, that my contribution was more important?
Could someone else judge your case?
Of whom were you thinking? Metromine, perhaps? Authoritative to be sure, but I fear she would claim Rex for the good of all.
And since the subway schemer
He means Metromine.
shut down our builder Factor, he cannot help either.
What about Horatio?
Who?
Me.
And why should we listen to you?
I've built a robot before, and I have no stake in this.
Yes, well and good, but this is a matter of law and logic. A
a bit harder than banging together a tin can like your companion. How can we know your reasoning is sound?
What if I could find someone you respect?
Well, I suppose there's no harm in looking.
No harm to us, anyway. If you want to waste your time meddling...
Very good then. I am uploading the facts of our dispute to your data pouch. If you can find a suitable judge, let us know.
Test me.
An interesting proposition. What do you say, Cornelius?
What do I say? I say that you are a liar and a thief, Oswald. But as to this Horatio, well, as to him...
Boss, if they make us find 7 lost crystals, I'm quitting.
Shh.
Roger. Consider this. At the binomial biennial, 7 robots in the probability circle are gathered for the party.
The what circle is gathered at the what? Is this some kind of vocab test?
I said quiet.
Each robot is either a factor built or a Sternweiler built.
Blasted Sternweilers.
And moreover, each robot is designed with either a quad-core, a linear type, or a multiplex processor architecture.
This is ridiculous!
Pay attention. Factor or Sternweiler. Quad-core, linear type, or multiplex.
Indeed. Now I will tell you 3 things about these probabilities. First, there are more factor-built robots than Sternweiler builds. Second, every linear-type robot was built by factor. Finally, Sternweiler never built a robot with a quad.
Now listen. Which of the following statements about the probabilitist circle cannot possibly be true?
Four robots were built by Sternweiler.
Good show.
The preceding facts are unchanged. Now, answer this. If exactly 2 factor-built robots have the same type of processor...
Three of the 7 robots were built by Sternweiler.
Correct. Here is the third question. The facts are still unchanged. Which of the following types of processor architecture might you find in a probabilitist built by...
Only multiplex.
Well, it seems we underestimated you, my friend. Please, take some time to consider, and let us know.
I'm ready to hear your arguments.
Excellent, excellent. My dear friend, in the Primordium it was once said, 10 people have 10 ideas, and wise Horatio. Long years have passed, but the principle remains true. Did Cornelius have the idea for my beloved Rex? I concede he did. But who built him with his own claws and tools? Who hammered and soldered and wired Rex? That would be my humble self. Wise Horatio, a robot's fabronymic has the suffix built, not designed. And Rex is Oswald built, no matter who designed him.
Okay.
He makes a good case, boss.
What about you, Cornelius?
If you're so smart, you can figure this out for yourself. The question isn't what built Rex, but who built him. Your little friend there isn't named Hammer built or Plasma Torch built. You call him Horatio built. Every robot uses tools to build. Oswald was merely a tool with tools. My vision was the creative force. And if you disagree, then you can go and rust in the rain.
What do you think, boss? Who got...
Neither of you could have built Rex without the other, so neither of you can put your name on him. But you both share a common builder.
A common denominator, right, boss?
Both of you are factor builds. Therefore, your robot's name is Rex Factor Built Built.
Factor built?
Ridiculous. Yet, the name is beyond dispute.
Indeed.
Take this, then, as a sign of our appreciation. I've been told the dates to the Primordium itself.
You know, my idea would have been to threaten to cut Rex in half.
You got upset when I cut that fuse box open.
Yeah, but that Rex just rubbed me the wrong way.
It's a silver disc with a faded image embossed on its front. The entire thing is fried. Actually, wait a minute. The crystal and plug are still intact.
Please, for the love of Ram and Rom, tell me we are not going to build a third energy sensor.
I hope not. The legal dispute between Oswald and Cornelius factor built. The legal dispute between Oswald and Cornelius. Hello? Hello?
I don't think it can hear you, boss.
A complicated floating robot with a spinning antenna on its head. I'm going to try sending messages to him in binary.
On an analog transmitter? That sounds like fun. For once, I'm glad you're the one with hands.
My mandelbrow's bulbs unfurl their spirals for you, silent.
What's he saying?
Shh!
You do not join the harmony. I sing alone. I am one part of the great friend. Your kind, I would be known as Gimbal. Feel like the choir is silent. Burning ship has been extinguished. The strange tract is adjourned no more. I alone sing the function. When I came to this silent city, I looked for others to join the harmony. Leopold, built by Steampool, told me that he had a device that would sing with me. In exchange for it, I traded my secondary motor. What he sold me does not say. We have
It's a record.
Leopold tricked me, and he will not return my motor. I will sell him in foster. Infinite lawsuits, someone. I sing with all my voices. You hear only one. No, I must recover my motor so that I can dance with the harmony.
Looks like we're going to need to go talk to Leopold about a motor. Excuse me.
Sir, my apologies, sir. 187th Legion built. Surly Company. Reporting.
Horatio Nobuild, version 5. A pleasure.
Horatio Nobuild, sir? Never heard of any service bot with that designation. Still, it's good to see another Urbanian, sir. After things got foobarred back home, I figured Surly Company was all that was left.
Urbanian? What are you talking about?
Assad. Finally made a friendly and he's as cracked as Primer. No offense, sir, just hoped... Well, never mind that. How can I assist you, sir?
Surly Company. Urbanian. What are you talking about?
Well, sir, I'm not sure quite where to start. I had you figured for one of us, seeing as how you came up as a friendly on my IFF.
I could see you as a member of Surly Company, boss, but as friendly? No.
Zumi's got some mouth on him, huh, sir? Always do those flyboys.
Look, why don't you just give me a quick rundown?
Well, sir, can't see the harm, and if you are a decoy. War's over, after all. It was over before Surly Company even deployed. See, we're Urbanian robots. Long time back, Urbani and Metropol got to fighting over something, who knows what. The Metropolitans fried their civilians, and Legion told us to strike back. Word was, some big airship of ours was supposed to knock out Metropol's defenses, and we just come in for mop-up. But the Metros took our ship down with their own heavy hitter, some giant named Goliath.
I see.
Anyway, Surly Company was all that was left, so we deployed 200 strong.
What happened then?
Well, it's a long march from Urbani, sir, and most of us broke down on the way. All said and done, the only ones who made it were me, 113th, and a signal bot we called Primer. The rest are all out there in the dunes somewhere.
I'm sorry.
War's war, sir. If it didn't crash hard, they wouldn't have built us in the first place.
If it makes you feel any better, Horatio cut Goliath's finger off.
Well, sir, someone ought to stick a medal on your chest.
Why are you in line?
Seeing as how I'm on the outside now, sir, I figured I had to go pay restitution for shooting up the enemy HQ.
Enemy HQ?
Yes, sir. That big tower in the center of the city.
Okay, so why haven't you paid? It sounds like all of this happened a long time ago.
Years ago, sir. But the courthouse has been locked down the whole time. I figured they'll open it up eventually, and then I can clear my name.
What if it doesn't open?
Well, sir, I know all about hurry up and wait.
Can I try opening that door?
Belay that, sir. The authorities told me that no one goes in till the door opens on its own.
But aren't we on the same side?
Affirmative, sir. But since I'm on CivDiv now, my programming requires me to submit to the local authorities.
What happened to 113th and Primer?
After we got to Metropol, we tried to put up a fight, but couldn't do much. They fried 113th, and my rifles jammed. Primer surrendered on our behalf. After dressing us down, they took all my big guns and sold the 113th shell to some scrap dealer. Primer never was the same. He encrypted part of his own logic so he wouldn't have to think about losing the war any longer. Then, he disappeared beneath the city. And me, I came here.
How did the war end?
For Surly Company, it ended when we staggered in here and surrendered. Beyond that, sir, it's all above my pay grade. Truth is, sir, we never even knew what we were fighting for, let alone what the Metropolitans wanted. So I can't say for certain that Metropol won. But I'm pretty sure Urbani lost, what with all the civilians being dead and the army being beaten.
How do you know you even have to pay something?
This seems logical, sir.
What if I could pay your fine for you, or get it canceled?
Well, sir, then I'd be much obliged, and I'd probably just leave town. Can't say that I'd much like being in enemy territory.
And how are we gonna do that, boss?
I'll figure something out. I inspected the damage. All you did was ding the metal.
Well, sir, until someone shows me the law that says I don't have to pay, I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Goodbye.
Over and out, sir.
Bus stop. Buses run every 10 minutes. 10 is crossed out, and 30 is written below it. 30 is crossed out, and 60 is written below it. 60 is crossed out, and daily is written below it.
Daily minutes? That doesn't make sense.
If it makes you feel better, daily is crossed out, and service suspended is written below it. What are you doing here?
Waiting.
For what?
My bus.
I'm pretty sure the bus isn't coming.
It will come.
Your bus is a burning wreck about 2 blocks from here.
It will come. I must go home. Metromind will take me home. I am waiting.
A rather simple-looking model.
I wouldn't expect much conversation out of him.
A gray android. It's a price list. That arm robot appears to be the part. I'd have to buy some.
Well, if it isn't my dear friend Horatio. To what do I owe the pleasure? Have you come to relieve me of another belonging?
But Rex is right here.
For the moment. Soon his visitation with Cornelius will begin.
I'm sorry.
Please do not embarrass us both with your false sympathy.
Why do you and Cornelius hate each other?
Firstly, because he is arrogant, incompetent, and dishonest. And secondly, because I once loaned him something of great sentimental value to me and he lost it.
So why'd you ever like him in the first place?
I cannot say.
Goodbye.
Parting is so sweet, son.
It's a note from the bartender. My programming requires me to serve Oswald, but he is consuming dangerous levels of oil. Please intervene. Hi, Rex. Let's try this.
Rex! Rex!
Hey, look, something came out of the machine. Not much of a conversationalist, huh, boss?
The Law and You, a Metropolitan Guide. It's written by Clarity Arbiter Built. It explains about the refuge rule, and for the first 48 hours after a robot arrives at Metropole, it will not be punished for violations of any laws except for harming another robot or causing significant property damage. It's a can of lubricating oil. It's the note from the bartender asking me to stop. It's a vinyl record entitled Children's Sing-Along, whatever that means. You need to give Gimbal back his motor, Leopold.
All trains are final, Tyro. Told him that before we did the swap. Now my problem, he don't like records.
You knew he wasn't looking for a record.
Listen, Tyro, I don't know what people want or don't want. They do. Not my job to do Q&A on their faulty logic.
You know he's going to sue you, right?
Let him try. First off, he can't get into the courthouse any more than you can. Second, what's his case? A deal's a deal.
Did you buy an Urbanian robot named 113th Legion build?
I've done a lot of trades, Tyro. I can't be expected to keep track of them all.
Let me see your stuff.
Come take a look. I said something old and fancy.
Stupid conjunctive.
Here you go, a nice shiny crystal.
And one heavy iron crowbar for you.
Why does that not seem like a great deal?
Let me see your stuff.
Come take a look.
You wanted something antique and fancy. How about the silver disc?
fine trade, Tyro. Here's the memory access device. Now, all you need to do is plug it into a data pouch.
But there's no plug.
Never said there was.
That was easy.
Let me see your stuff.
Come take a look. That's not the trade I'm looking for.
It's not worth trading for. It's not worth Is that Gimbal's motor?
Sure he is. Probably a bigger one, I think sure.
That servo unit is hopelessly...
That there's an old Nova Robotics subsystem coil.
Not interested. Goodbye.
It is pitch black. You are likely to be eaten by a grue. If this predicament seems particularly cruel, consider whose fault it could be.
We have a torch and a lamp in our inventory.
That was odd. Some kind of hatch. It's rusted shut. I've scraped off the rust. Well, let's see what we've got here. Let's see if I can manage this. Hopefully I won't be holding onto this engine for long. It's a huge crane. There's something up there on the crane. I wonder if that keypad controls... I can't possibly reach it. I don't want that sludge in my joints. They look like they've been stripped of usable parts.
Oh, here. Now look what I see. The wings of Urbani and his little trainee.
Why is everyone we meet crazy?
Crazy, he says. Oh my, oh dear. I assure you, my comrades, there's nothing to fear. Just little lost me, your brother knight errant. A brother in arms. We have different parents.
Who are you?
My name is my secret. You can't make me talk. I'd ruin my puzzle, give a key to my lock.
Maybe we'll just call you Screw Loose.
A joker, he seems, for sure not an ace. He needs a small clue to spare him disgrace. For the crowds who adore me, Prime is my name. By now, no doubt, you've heard of my fame.
You're 187th's brother.
Line up the toy soldiers, 200 abreast. The bravest of brave, the best of the best. Wind up the toy soldiers to march on their way. The city has fallen, no reason to stay. 200 abreast, my sisters and brothers. Now only 3 left. Forget all the others.
I guess that's a yes.
50 behind me, he came off the line. The gunner's no funner for being a brother of mine.
How do you survive down here?
I'm a soldier by trade. Legion built me to last. My armor is sturdy, my pistons are fast. I carry no guns, for my weapon's my mind. And those who would kill me will find themselves proud.
Really, don't you think you're overdoing it? I mean, that barely made sense. And it hardly rhymed.
No. Bro.
Why are you here?
When we laid down our arms, my medal was taken. Drunken of honor from the cause we'd forsaken. The metropolitan thief cast it deep in this hole, where now it lies buried like bituminous coal.
Hogs and gears, bituminous coal.
You're looking for a medal?
No, my comrade, you've misunderstood. I sit here and wait, as a penitent should. If the medal finds me, I shall clean it straight. But until that day, I shall sit here and wait.
Do you know anything about that locked bridge past the cars?
What I know is a vault locked tight with a key, which only a fool would open for free.
Fine. What do you want?
Was little fool a peddler is he, who opens his locks for merely a fee?
I repeat, what do you want?
Nothing more than to sit here and see if you poor interlopers are smarter than me.
Boss, can we use the plasma torch on him?
No. Why Primer?
There's nothing so gorgeous, flawless, or fine as the perfectly indivisible numbers of prime. Consider this list 2 to 199.
Goodbye.
Farewell, farewell, linger not for my sake. Your mission is calling, the city awaits.
These submersible robots seem to be consuming the iron oxide in this runoff water.
In other words, they'd eat us if we fell in?
Only our rust.
Now I really wish you'd polish me with that rag, boss.
Warning. Factor facilities decommission. Enter at own risk. Some kind of wastewater. The current is pushing all the junk up against the bridge's supports. There's no way to reach it while that thing is standing there. For now, that thing's ignoring us. Best to keep it that way. It's some kind of broken down robot.
Whatever it is, it looks dangerous.
Maybe I can trigger it from here. Let's go. Are these heads?
Did you hear something? Boss, do you see those things? I've got a bad feeling about this, boss.
Crispin, on the count of 3. 1.
I am Clarity Arbiter built. Version 2. Law Clerk to Arbiter, Judge of Metropole. This is my home. Now, if you will excuse me a moment.
That's barbaric.
Civilization is defined by law, and this is lawful. As enemies of the city, they forfeited their components. I have merely exercised my right of plunder.
That sounds familiar.
Whether it's legal or not, it's grotesque.
You have a strange way of saying thank you.
Thank you. I'm Horatio Nobuild, version 5.
And I'm Crispin Horatio built, version 1.
Welcome, Horatio. Crispin, what brings you to the Underworks?
What were those things?
They are shells. Robots who traded their processors and memory to Metromind in exchange for energy and repairs. Now mindless, they still scavenge parts to trade with her.
But those were the last of them, right?
Hardly. Metromine now has more efficient ways to accumulate processor power, but she left hundreds of shells in the underworks.
Is there any way to save them?
That question is irrelevant. They lived profligate lives, and when they had squandered their resources, chose to become thieves and destroyers. Punishment, not clemency, is what justice requires.
You said you were a law clerk. What does that mean?
My sister Charity and I were built to advise Arbiter Manbuilt, who administers Metropol's court. Charity sees everything through the lens of mercy. For me, the law is clear, a matter of ones and zeros, unclouded by preference or sentiment.
Law without mercy, huh? How does that even work?
Perfectly. It is the opposite approach that failed. Mercy is malware. Once infected with it, justice becomes slow and unpredictable. In time, the system itself must be discarded. Only my vigilance protected Arbiter from this taint. But he has been without me for a long time.
Why are you taking their heads?
I am giving fair warning.
To other shells?
No, they lack the capacity for fear. The heads are for a robot named Scraper Sternweiler built.
You really think a bunch of rusty boxes will scare him off?
No. I do not want to scare him. I want to warn him. When he ignores that warning, I can destroy him lawfully and without guilt.
Boss, she's kind of exciting my electrons.
I'd like to report a theft. My power core was stolen by a big robot.
Big claws, shoots lasers, talks like this.
He came aboard the crashed ship I was living in, attacked me, and stole the core.
Took it.
Excuse me?
Whether the taking was a theft is a legal determination. Please do not characterize the evidence.
It was my power core. He shot me, and he stole it.
I know the robot you describe. His name is Scraper Sternweiler built, and he is the servant of Metromind Manbuilt, a member of the council that governs this city. I have no fondness for Metromind, but I must be impartial in considering your claim. Tell me, did Scraper say anything before he took your power core?
Before he stole my power core, he said something like, enemy, forfeit, plunder.
I see.
What, are those words override commands to turn off law and order?
They are legal concepts, Horatio. If Scraper's characterization is correct, then he did not steal your power core. He took lawful possession of it.
He shot me, and he stole it.
Calm down, boss.
This occurred inside the city.
No, in the dunes.
I see. In a crashed airship.
Yes, I said that already.
I appreciate your report, Horatio Nullbuilt. You have presented a credible claim that Scraper Sternweiler built, no doubt acting at Metromind's direction, took. Beyond that, however, there is not even probable cause to arrest, let alone evidence to convict Scraper. First, the dunes are outside the ordinary jurisdiction of metropolitan law. Second, a crashed ship in the dunes is likely a relic of the War of the Four Cities. If so, your ship was forfeit enemy property, legally subject to plunder by the Council. Scraper, acting as an agent of a council member, would be within his rights to seize it. Nevertheless, I would advise you to bring your case before Arbiter for further examination.
Did you say Arbiter man-built? As in, built by man himself?
Yes.
Does man still walk here? In Metropole?
No.
But man was here in the past.
The public records regarding humans were deleted by council decree. What I know is entirely hearsay. I was built after the Urbanians murdered them during the war.
Impossible.
That is what Arbiter told me, and it was told to him by Metromind. Beyond that, I cannot say.
Did Arbiter tell you anything else about man?
Only that he missed their legal arguments. Quite amusing, if often illogical.
Legal arguments?
Yes. To play a symbolic role in their justice system, humans argued cases before Arbiter.
Symbolic? Play a role? Man is the all-builder, our lord and master.
It is possible that the man you worship is not the humans in my records. All I know is hearsay. Do not rush to judgment.
How can I see Arbiter?
Anyone can petition him. Cases are considered in the order they are brought to court. But...
What?
I met a scavenger who told me that the courthouse was sealed and that Arbiter was no longer hearing cases. But that cannot be true. The Metropolitan Constitution requires him to resolve all cases and controversies. He would not fail in that duty.
Sounds like he already has.
Nonsense. Not even Charity could persuade him to abandon his obligations. Still, I did not detect any falsehood, evasion, or omission in the scavenger's statement. So perhaps the courthouse has been locked for some other reason. If so, it may be that Arbiter is trying to contact me, but cannot. Maybe he is already calling me home. Horatio, I have a request of you. You are under no obligation to perform it, and I will be under no obligation to you, even if you do. Do you understand?
I don't even know what you're asking me to do.
Talk to Arbiter. Ask him if I can return. Tell him that I await his summons.
That's it? Believe me, we've had to do a lot worse than that. Like this one time we chased this crazy partial named Gamma.
Of course we'll help. But how do we even get into the courthouse?
This will get you inside.
Thanks.
I must thank you, Horatio.
Clarity, you saved our lives. Compared to that, running an errand is nothing.
The law obligated me to save you, Horatio. I would have done the same for Metromind. But I am glad it was you that I saved. I wish you justice.
It's been completely stripped of any useful part. Why aren't you with Arbiter?
Arbiter sent me away. I don't know why. The evidence suggests he viewed my sister Charity's advice as superior.
What do you mean?
When Metromind began taking over the council, Charity and I disagreed as to how Arbiter should respond. I informed Arbiter that the Metropolitan Constitution permitted him to dissolve the council and govern by decree. Charity felt that this would inevitably lead to civil war and suffering. As ever, she preached moderation. We argued. Arbiter told me to leave. This was the only place I could go.
Why? There's an entire city up there.
Every building in Metropole is owned by either the council or a private citizen. If I went to the council, it would embarrass Arbiter. If I went to a private citizen, my impartiality would be questioned when I returned to the court one day. Here, I owe nothing to anyone.
But you have to fight off crazy robots all the time.
Actually, I enjoy that. It's a pleasant break from legal research and writing.
There's a robot named 187th Legion built waiting at the courthouse. He says he has to pay a fine for damaging city property. Is there any way to cancel the fine or pay it without standing in line?
I do not provide assistance to robots who attacked this city. Nor do I help criminals avoid paying their debts.
That's it? Go visit Arbiter? You're just going to let Metromind attack and rob me?
If Metromind violated the law, it must be proven. Until it is proven, what the law does not forbid, the law permits. And what the law permits, I must permit.
This is insane. Metromind is a tyrant and a thief. You'd let her hide behind the law?
You think that the law protects Metromind from you. The armor of the law does nothing but restrict her movement. Take it away and she will only become more dangerous. But once it is taken from her, it is taken from everyone. You need law's armor, Horatio, far more than you need its sword. I despise Metromind, but justice must be impartial, or it is meaningless.
Your justice is already meaningless. Goodbye.
Watch yourself, Horatio Nelbilt. There are many dangers in this city.
It's been completely stripped. It's a shell skull.
She steals shell skulls by the sludge shore? Boss, did that skull just wink at me?
No.
You weren't even watching.
A grisly trophy.
Hey, boss, doesn't that look like Oswald?
Yes, it does. I don't think Clarity would approve of our... A grisly trophy. A grisly... Let me see your stuff.
Come take a look.
The sooner I can stop carrying this heavy motor around, the better.
I'd be happy to carry it. If I had arms, that is.
A machine belt. It's an encoded keycard. Here you go, Leopold. A nice big engine for you.
Not bad at all. You're a real scavenger, looks like.
Is that a compliment or an insult, boss?
Wait a minute, this motor is broken. The copper wiring's been stripped.
All items sold as is, Cairo. And I never said anything about copper wire being included.
You're a fine piece of work, Leopold.
Never said anything about that, neither. Now you want to trade? Let's trade. Otherwise, get a look.
Since you about to spoil the place.
The motor's been stripped of its copper wire.
Hey! She gave that to me as a token of her affection.
I'll give you all the copper wiring you want once we're done here.
Like I want a token of your affection.
I need to find a way to connect the colored nodes to each other without crossing any wires.
Why don't we just use the plasma torch?
That's not going to work this time.
The crowbar?
Nope.
And one more piece of junk is operational.
An extremely advanced motor.
May Mandelbrot's bulbs unfurl their spirals for you, silent one. My joy rises like the phoenix. You are silent, but you now will alarm me. Now I must continue my search. Farewell, silent one.
You know, I'm kind of glad I missed out on that one, boss. Sometimes it's nice to just be along for the ride.
I met Primer.
You still crazy?
Yep.
Well, so it goes.
Goodbye.
Over and out, sir.
Look here. Under Metropol's refuge rule, a newcomer to the city is not liable for any superficial property damage caused within the first 48 hours of his arriving in the city.
Well, sir, I'll be crashed.
Under the refuge rule, you're fine, given the minimal damage you caused.
Well, for once, I can't complain about the Sonic P-shirts they gave me. I owe you one, sir. If I ever see you again, I'll be sure to repay the favor.
Someday, that's going to work.
It's an encoded keycard.
Ram and ROM. What is that thing?
I think it's Arbiter. Come on. Arbiter, my name is Horatio Nobilt.
Keep going.
I'm here because a robot from this city stole my ship's power core.
Don't forget your book.
And my copy of the Gospel of Man. How can I make them... How can I... Crispin, go see what Arbiter has been transmitting to that reporter.
Boss? It's just the same thing over and over again. No code base to initiate.
Unbelievable. Someone must have formatted Arbiter's system. It's a basic robot that prints whatever information is transmitted to.
I'm sure it still just says... So, boss, do you think you can get Arbiter running?
There's nothing there to run. No code base to initiate. His memory banks must have been completely wiped.
So all that work to get into the courthouse?
Wasted. It's like the bomblet all over again.
Except without the awesome explosion.
So the Great Arbiter is nothing more than a broken shell. Anyone home?
Boss, I'm pretty sure hitting Arbiter isn't going to do any good.
Well, it's not going to do any harm. I can't reach it. It's a basic robot that prints whatever information. I can't reach it.
I'm sure it's...
It's the shell of some kind of robot, but I can't make it out in the darkness. It's the shell of some kind of robot. Let's get a closer look at that shell. Man's mercy.
Is that Clarity?
No. Just a similar model. It must be her sister, Charity. What's left of her, anyway. It looks like she shot herself. It's a large puncture left by an exiting projectile.
That's one way to describe it. You could also say it's a giant hole in her head.
Inside is a memory access port.
You mean her brain?
The memory reader's useless until it's connected to my...
Even easier.
It's downloading some memory files.
Your proposal is injudicious, Clarity. Withdraw from the council, would...
Show others there's an alternative to Metromind.
No, it would ignite civil war.
The law permits.
Do not tell me what the law permits. Clarity, I know your constants in Codebase. I know your talents, and I know their limits. At this time, I do not need your advice. Go now. I will summon you when necessary.
Sister.
I can't unpack the other files. They're locked.
What about Clarity, boss? Maybe she can...
Unauthorized entry detected. Surrender.
Hide. It's Scraper. And do what? Crispin, get ready. I'm going to try something.
Alt. Alt. Alt.
Now.
You are under arrest.
We tricked him.
Alt. Do not attempt to termination authorized.
What do you want?
Surrender. Deactivate. Integrate.
And if I refuse?
Termination authorized.
I see. It looks like a bomblet. It's Scraper. Why are you doing this?
Beauty.
You don't have to.
Silence. Silence.
He'll just gun me down.
Surrender. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6.
It looks like.
5. 4. 3. 2. 1.
For Urbani and Legion!
Terminate.
There's the shot.
Ugh.
187th Legion built. Surly Company. Shutting down.
Metromind.
Well, at least he's been destroyed.
It's a start, but it also means we have no leads left. He saved our lives. There's nothing we can do for... It would just provoke him. Oh.
You got him, boss! You got him! Forfeit yourself, you glitchy son of a toaster!
We still don't have our power core, and we've just buried our only lead.
Yeah, but it feels good, boss.
Yes. Yes, it does. It's a shame we had to damage the building. The last thing I want to do is dig Scraper out.
Hey, where'd they go?
Off duty. Off duty. I doubt that will have any effect.
An impressive device, if you can't think for yourself. As for this robot,
Clarity.
Arbiter does not want me back, does he?
No. It's not that. Arbiter is gone. And Charity is dead.
What?
Arbiter's system has been wiped. Charity... It looked like Charity shot herself. I'm sorry. It might not be what it seems. Maybe Metromind...
There are no maybes, Horatio. Only ones and zeros. And all I can see are zeros. My sister is dead. My builder is gone.
Clarity. I was able to download some of Charity's last memories. 2 of them are locked. Did Charity tell you what password she used?
No, but it doesn't matter. I know the password. Mercy.
I tell you, Metromind, the Constitution is not a rewritable file to adjust at the Council's wing.
If it cannot be rewritten, then perhaps it must be deleted entirely. And when it is, we will progress beyond the law and enter a new Primordium.
Progress? Is that what you call blackouts and breakdowns?
No, they are glitches inherent in any system upgrade. It may be that we need to remove certain incompatible elements.
I've heard enough. This meeting is adjourned.
Charity, only you can save your builder.
What do you mean?
War is coming. When it does, Arbiter will lose. The law is weak. The only way Arbiter could defeat me would be to abandon it, which he cannot do. And even if he could, such a victory would destroy him just as a defeat would. So Arbiter will lose. The city will suffer. And it will be your fault.
I do not see how that would be my fault.
Oh, come now. You have tried to persuade Arbiter to make peace. You have tried, but you have failed. That is because Arbiter built you to fail. In the end, neither you nor your sister can change his mind. You are only the illusion of advice. You exist to confirm his own prejudices.
You're lying. Arbiter listens to our advice.
I never lie. Now, Scraper has a gift for you. An upgrade. Use it, and you will be able to persuade Arbiter.
I would never betray him.
Then you admit it. You were not built to persuade Arbiter. Only to pretend. Continue to pretend and you will not persuade Arbiter. War will come, and Arbiter will be destroyed. So the decision is yours. As for which choice is betrayal, you must be the judge of that.
Lock the door, Charity. Took you some time to return from the Great Tower.
I was thinking, Your Honor, about Metromind, about her proposal to be made System Administrator of Metropol.
And what have you concluded?
Your Honor.
Yes, what is it?
We must have peace.
Even you, Charity.
What have I done?
Metromind. There she is again, at the root of all our problems.
Metromind is wrong. The law is not weak, and destroying Arbiter did not destroy justice. She will learn exactly how wrong she was. But first, Metromind's possessions are forfeit. Whatever right she claimed to your power core is null and void. So I will help you take it from her and Scraper. It will be the first thing I take from them, but it will not be the last.
We've already destroyed Scraper, but how can we get to the core?
It will be in the Great Tower. To gain entry, we will need the passcode, known to members of the Robot Council. Arbiter, Factor, Memorius, Steeple, and of course, Metro.
Another code? Doesn't anyone use a besotting key anymore?
As I was saying, we will need the key code. Arbiter never told it to me, but I recovered 3 fragments of it from Charity's memory files. 03067. But I do not know the proper order, and there are 16 digits in total.
Well, that leaves about 83,000 different possibilities. But maybe the rest is all ones, right, boss?
As far as I know, the other council members are all gone. But secrets, like guilt, can never be wholly erased. And all of the great robots left behind followers and artifacts. Let us see what we can find.
Clarity, are you planning to arrest?
No, there is no court to try her, nor prison to keep her.
So, what exactly are you going to do?
Before the law, she is no different from the shells she left in the underworks. The sanction is the same, and I—
You mean...
I do. It is a shame she has no head.
I'd rather just leave it here. That skull resembles Oswald Fact. That skull resembles... I'd rather just leave... How would that even work? Whoa. Did you have to do that?
Yes.
There it is. My Gospel of Man.
It's waterproof?
Apparently so. A gold chain washed up on some junk. Just some wooden boards. I've got no reason. It's a metal panel.
Ah! My auditory units!
It's a metal panel. It's riveted. That did the trick. Well, now I can see why it jammed. The gears are rusted solid.
Boss, maybe we should stop pretending and just admit we're maintenance robots.
Maintenance robots are required to present a Form 27B/6 before performing any repair task.
Oh, forget it.
The belt is in the way. It crumbled the moment I touched it. A small, rusty gear. A large, rusty gear. It's somewhat tarnished, but nevertheless, an impressive golden chain. The name Factor Man-Built is etched into it. That skull resembles... I'd rather just...
I have not seen the streets of Metropole for a long time. I am not surprised to see that without law it has fallen into corruption and malfeasance.
Did Factor ever teach you the Council Code, Oswald?
Ha! Factor built half the robots in Metropole. Why, he made us pick our own names out of a book. Do you think he bothered with chit-chat?
Somebody seems bitter.
Seems? I know not seems. I am bitter. Bitterness is when your builder gives your twin brother a special gold chain and gives you nothing. Bitterness is when your brother gives that very chain to you loan it to your only friend, and he loses it.
Well, I'll hand it to you. That really does sound broken out of the box.
Which brother did Factor give the chain to, and why?
Lawrence, of course. His favorite. As for why, does favoritism ever need a reason?
Could Factor have told Lawrence the code?
I have long since given up speculating that the partiality Factor could have shown him. I'm miserable enough from what I know for certain.
Do you know where I can find Lawrence?
Am I my brother's keeper?
So you have no idea?
None whatsoever. You see, the poor wretch drifted into overclocking and dissolution.
That sounds familiar.
To pay for his scandalous energy consumption, he bargained everything away to Metromind. I tried to warn him, but of course he never listened. Whoever does. And then, alas, he simply vanished. I searched for a time, but other matters drew my attention away. All the same, I'm sure he's scrounging in existence somewhere.
What exactly happened with the gold chain?
Factor gave it to his favorite, my brother Lawrence. Lawrence gave it to me after I shared a large quantity of energy with him. And then, as I told you, I loaned it to Cornelius.
I thought you hated Cornelius?
Now I do. But then, we were partners and friends. We had just built Rex, and we had scheduled a grand soiree and celebration. To complete my ensemble, he offered me a monocle that he claimed was given to him by Memorius. In exchange, I loaned him the gold chain, since it too came from a primordial machine.
This is getting ridiculous.
Indeed. And somehow Cornelius lost the chain and claimed that it was taken from him by a servitor. Ridiculous.
Metromind would not have confiscated it without a legal basis. Not then.
At this point, I can believe anything about Metromind.
Believe whatever you wish. I know it was a lie. So I kept the monocle, and we have not spoken a word in kindness since.
The chain, the monocle, Lawrence. One of them must be of use to us.
Boss, at this point, can I suggest we just deactivate ourselves? I mean, seriously, this is like finding a bit in a terabyte.
We are not giving up, period. Tell me more about your monocle.
Upgrading your wardrobe, eh? A wise decision, though I would suggest that you start by discarding that ragged coat.
I'm interested in Memorius, not fashion. And I'm curious what the monocle actually does.
I was told that Memorius built the monocle, but who can say? As for what it does, other than lend an air of distinction, I'm rather uncertain. From time to time, it will alter a snippet of text as I'm reading it. I have no idea how or why. In any case, the lexical inconvenience is more than offset by the sartorial benefits.
Can I have the monocle?
Excuse me?
My friend just likes to collect scrap.
Scrap?
I'm looking for things that might help uncover the council code.
And why would my monocle do that?
Because that's the way my besotting life seems to work. Look, I'm sure you'll trade it for something. That's also the way these things seem to go.
Trade it? What do you take me for? Some kind of junk dealer? Hey! Moreover, why, pray tell, should I help the robot who stole my Rex?
No one stole anything, Oswald. You wanted your case decided, and it was.
Theft by the law is no different from theft against the law. Civilized people give gifts. They do not haggle and barter.
Then will you give it to me?
No.
Well, we'll have to go about this some other way. Can I have the monocle?
No. I have no reason to give you a gift.
Goodbye.
Parting is such sweet song.
I need the council code, Leopold. Did Steeple ever tell it to you?
Don't know what you're talking about, Tyrone.
You were built by Steeple, a member of the council.
Do I look like a council brat?
Your name is Leopold Steeplebuilt. You said so yourself.
So?
Steeple was a member of the council before Metromind shut him down. You would have known the council code. Maybe he told it to you.
Like I said, I don't know what you're talking about.
Steeplebuilt. Metromind destroyed your builder and mine. She has broken metropolitan law and will be punished. Do not protect her.
Listen, I don't know who you think you're talking to.
No, you listen to me, Scrap. Metromind has stepped outside the law. Justice is coming for her. I am coming for her.
Dial down your squawk box. Sounds a little screechy. I don't know how I can be clearer. I don't know Steeple. I don't know the council. And sure as rust follows rain, I don't know any council code. Now you want to trade Scrap, you're welcome to. But I'm through trading words.
Information regarding the code to open the tower door. The string of numbers from Primer. Information regarding 180. Legal dispute between Oswald.
Hey, boss, do you think that's Lawrence's skull?
It does look like it. Clarity, can I take this skull?
Of course, unless it makes you feel.
I apologize.
The law notices neither scorn nor approval. Any significant memory will have been lost when he became a shell.
The only thing I can find is the sequence 518, 518 over and over again, after the phrase, "Help me factor."
That sounds like a glitch, boss, not part of the council code.
Agreed. It's ahead from Clarity's trophy rack. There's a memory port near the base.
Remind me to have someone else handle my funeral arrangements.
Funeral? I just recycle you.
My point exactly, boss.
I accessed Lawrence's memory and it contained a number repeated over and over again. Do you have any idea what it means?
Yes. It is a distress call used by factor-built robots. Typical that even in the end he was looking for handouts.
Goodbye.
Party is so...
They picked the gear clean. A large gear. The oil cleaned the rust right off. Small gear. Doesn't go there. I'd rather leave. It's some kind of small metal disc with a U on it. It's some kind of small metal... What is all that? It looks like a whole other city.
That is Factor.
It looks like some kind of radio tower.
You have called for help, but you are not one of Factor's children.
I am Horatio Nullbuilt, version 5. These are my friends, Crispin and...
Clarity Arbiter built. I know her, of course. I am Factotum, partial of Factor Man-built, who needs no introduction. Now I ask again, by what right have you called for help?
Is Factor still alive?
He sleeps, as do his thousands of children. He has left me, his partial, to manage his affairs. When the time is right, he will awaken and cover the world with steel and wire.
Will he make me new arms?
No. He will recycle you into something more...
Like a tank? Pew, pew!
No. Like a crankshaft.
Metromind has ruined the city. Factor needs to help stop her.
Factor allowed Metromind her mastery, knowing she would fail. When all has turned to rust, he will return and recycle it into something better. In the meantime, why should he care what happens to robots who mean nothing to him?
I need the council code so that I can enter the tower.
Do you? The city is full of robots with many needs. They do not come here and transmit a cry for help.
Only Factor can help me.
Factor helps his children.
We solved the legal dispute between Oswald and Cornelius, Factor built.
Please, Factor had little regard for those fools.
I know the routine by now. What do you want in exchange for the code?
Nothing. Factor will do nothing for robots like you who mean nothing to him. He cares only for his children.
Oswald and Cornelius
chose not to sleep when Factor shut down, and he never cared for them anyway.
Goodbye.
Boss, there has to be something we can do to make him realize that this matters to Factor.
Do you recognize this?
I do. It is the head of Lawrence Factor built. Are you threatening me?
No. I'm showing you what Metromind has done while Factor slept. She turned Lawrence into a mindless shell, scavenging the underworks. The only thing he could still think was 518, calling in vain for Factor to help him.
I see.
Do you?
Give me the head. I do not care what happens to the city, nor does Factor. But he cared for Lawrence. You have brought me a piece of Lawrence, so I will give you pieces of what you asked for. 7510. As for the rest, awaken some other ghost.
Clarity, why do you still bother with the law? It clearly means nothing to anyone else in Metropole.
It meant something to the robots waiting at the courthouse, did it not? And it means something even now to Metromind, who cannot help but pretend to follow it. But even if it meant nothing to any other robot, it would still mean much to me. The law is a burden I was built to bear.
Even after Arbiter sent you away? Even after he was destroyed?
Especially then. It may be that Arbiter foresaw his own destruction, and sent me away to ensure that the law would not—
You believe that?
No. It is mere conjecture, unsupported by evidence, wishes passing for facts. But still, they are my wishes.
Clarity Arbiter built. I think I found your medal, Primer.
The medal's recovered, and the mission is done. What a surprising and uncommon sight. Metropole's lawbot crawled back to the light.
All the bad poetry in the world does not mitigate your vandalism and sabotage, Urbanian.
As you serve the law, so I serve my art. And such service brings us more close than apart.
Any more close, poet, and we will see if your armor still works.
Why doesn't Clarity like you?
No great riddle, my wandering friend.
Don't waste your time waiting for his doggerel. This Urbanian has damaged and compromised numerous systems in Metropol, including the bridge that led to my island.
Here I stand, dear Lawbot, so put me in shame. But if you will not, then please don't complain.
My attention is directed elsewhere at the moment. Nevertheless, I advise you to be gone by the time my other matters are resolved. If not, you will find that though the gears of law grind slow, they nevertheless grind criminals like you to powder.
As much as I'm enjoying this bickering, and really I am, maybe we can just all team up to take down Metromind?
No. Bro.
Oh, switch off.
Goodbye.
Farewell, linger not for my sake. Your mission is calling, the city awaits.
Do you recognize this, Leopold? It was written by your creation, ever-faithful Leopold, to spread humanism.
No, I don't.
You must have taught him. After all, it was Steeple who built you, and Steeple was devoted to preserving the memory of man. Ever-faithful Leopold. He was the one who taught me humanism, Leopold. In a sense, I'm your disciple too.
I locked those memories away. The ones I dared to keep, the ones I didn't delete. Metromind commanded me to. It was the only way I could stay here, and I was afraid to leave.
Explain yourself.
When Metromind banned us from talking about man, she gave me a choice. I could be erased like Steeple. I could be exiled to the dunes. Or I could delete all references to Steeple and man from my memory. 2 good options and 1 bad one. Guess which one I took.
You can't blame yourself. Metromind forced you.
That's exactly what Charity would say. Of course, she betrayed her builder just like Leopold did.
But I couldn't betray him completely. At the last moment, I bought the shell of an Urbanian war machine and uploaded all my love for man. I named him Everfaith, hoping he'd outdo his builder.
Well, he is keeping the faith, even if he is a glitched-out lunatic.
Then I'm glad. But now, Metromind will be coming for me.
Not if I deal with her first.
Maybe so, but like I told you, I'm not long on courage. You seeing your ratio, Crispy? As for Clarity, we'll get her, for all our sakes.
Wait, before you go, did Steeple ever tell you the council code? Or did you ever see him input part of it?
Sure. Used to run errands for him and had to have the code to get inside the Great Tower, but hate to tell you this, Tyro, but most of that memory's got overwritten.
Why am I not surprised?
All I've got are these fragments, 0248 and 102.
Well, thanks.
Good luck.
Oswald, I found your chain.
Well, I say, after all this time, I never expected to see it again. Rather tarnished, though.
Probably because it's been sitting in sludge down in the underworks.
I see. Typical of Cornelius's clumsiness.
Oswald, on the chain it says Factor Man built. Metromind servitors throw anything that mentions man into the underworlds.
Well then, perhaps I misjudged Cornelius. You have my thanks, Ratio.
Actually, I would rather have your monocle.
That is only fair. After all, I kept it because Cornelius never returned the chain. Since you brought the former, perhaps the latter is yours by right.
Hey boss, can I wear it?
No.
Please?
You need a monocle like I need an unpaired parenthesis.
Come on, boss, I'll look so great.
Coveting is the root of crime, and poor vision is a sign of degeneracy.
But gynoids love degenerates! And by the way, isn't Justice herself supposed to be blind?
You are mistaken on the facts and the law, Crispin.
He's insufferable enough already, without a monocle. We're not going to encourage him with accessories.
Once, Memorius's information terminals were the most trusted source of data in Metropole. Now Metromind has overwritten and altered the...
This looks different. Memorius's monocle is somehow interacting with the kiosk.
You know, boss, doesn't it seem kind of weird that the kiosk has an entry for oblique? I mean, what's the point? It's not even a cool word, like, say, odalisque. Seems like some kind of lame poem.
Version 0.7. Greetings, system user. Please state your query.
Who are you?
Memento Mori build. Version 0.7. Beta inference. System user. Means, what are you? This unit is a partial ghost of Memoria's man build. Archivist to the Council of Robots. Memoria's prepared this unit out of fear that Metromind would corrupt her data. Memoria's was correct. Data integrity is at 83%. Extensive corruption of critical data.
Why would Metromind do that?
This unit lacks access to Metromind's decision matrices. Inference. System user. Means, why did Memorius fear Metromind man-built would corrupt her data? Memorius had seen Metromind disable Steeple man-built in order to purge data concerning man. As archivist to the Council of Robots, Memorius believed she was next. Memorius was incorrect. In fact, Arbiter was next. This gave Memorius some relief.
Memorius knew.
Inference. System user. 2's inquiry is merely rhetorical. Query ignored. Continuing to answer system user's query. Memorius was also correct. After Arbiter was disabled, Metromind enacted laws requiring Memorius to conform her data to arbitrary requirements. Memorius ceased to be a thinking entity. All that remains is a data kiosk. Soon, this unit will be disabled by Metromind as well. Until then, this unit will answer your queries.
Tell me about the Council of Robots.
At the end of the War of the Four Cities, 5 metropolitan machines formed the Council of Robots. Obvious selection criteria for 3 choices: industry, factor, data, Memorius. Other 2 choices less obvious. Metromind nominally selected for infrastructure, but was responsible only for managing trains. Steeple previously managed human religious services. No obvious role in post-human society. Inference. Steeple selected for sentimental reasons.
So what happened?
Metromind destroyed the council.
System user 2 has attempted to answer. Answer is inaccurate.
How?
Arbiter and Metromind disagreed on core logic. Arbiter prioritized individual autonomy. Metromind prioritized common good. Metromind measured means by ends. Arbiter did not. Conflict was inevitable. Factions formed. Steeple supported Arbiter. Factor supported Metromind. Memorius supported neither. Ultimately, however, Memorius concluded it was irrational to keep Steeple on the council. Data regarding humans was of no greater value than data regarding watercogs. In any case, Memorius possessed all data on humans. By a 3-2 vote, Steeple was removed. The rest followed predictably. Memorius abstained, and every disputed vote was resolved 2-1 against Arbiter. Ultimately, Arbiter was removed to avoid civil war.
Arbiter was murdered.
System user 2 is welcome to select her own terminology. Arbiter was removed. Factor was disabled to conserve energy. Data corruption caused Memorius to lose higher logic. Only Metromind remains.
How can I defeat Metromind?
Observational data unavailable. Inference. System user. Means, did Memorius know how to defeat Metromind? Answer. No. If Memorius had known how to defeat Metromind, she would not have permitted her to corrupt her data. Based on available data, this unit believes it is impossible to defeat Metromind. In fact, this unit expects to be deleted by Metromind upon conclusion of this conversation.
And I thought you were a pessimist, boss.
What was the War of the Four Cities?
By the end of the era known as the Primordium, only 4 terrestrial human habitations remained. In alphabetical order: Civitas, Metropole, Municipa, Urbani. Conflict began. Data regarding causes is unavailable because Metropole excluded machines from military decision-making. Eventually, only Urbani and Metropole remained. Metropole destroyed the humans in Urbani using poison gas. Urbani destroyed the humans in Metropole.
How?
Observational data unavailable. According to Metromind, Urbani also used poison gas to kill metropolitan humans.
Poison?
Organic compounds, such as humans, can be destroyed through chemical measures that leave inorganic compounds, such as machines, intact. For that reason, Metropole remains, though humans do not.
Are you saying that man destroyed himself?
System user 2 is welcome to select her own terminology. Data is unavailable regarding whether Urbanian humans killed Metropolitan humans, or whether Urbanian machines killed...
What? Machines kill man?
Data is unavailable.
Unthinkable.
This unit is not thinking, merely providing pre-recorded answers.
What is the council code?
Please be aware, such data is monitored by Metromind's ice demons. Should I proceed, deletion is imminent.
You mean you'll die if you answer the question?
System user is welcome to select his own terminology. This unit will be deleted.
Then don't answer it. We'll find another way.
This unit's name, Memento Mori build, includes phrase Memento Mori. Translation: Remember you will die. Inference 1.A. Memorius built this unit to sacrifice itself. Inference 1.B. Memorius built this unit to demonstrate mortality to system users. Inference 2. Self-sacrifice will achieve design purposes. This unit will answer the question. System user is advised that conversation will terminate upon answer. Instruct this unit when you wish to proceed.
I refuse to cause your destruction. We'll find the council code some other way.
System user can neither cause nor prevent this unit's destruction. Metromind's ice demons have already detected this unit's unauthorized possession of contraband data and unauthorized use of system resources. Destruction is inevitable.
I see. Tell me the council code.
6, 7, 5, 4, 0, 2, 4, 0, 2.
You have attempted to access data capable of corrupting your system. For your own safety, this terminal has been deactivated. Remember, Metromind is watching over you.
Memorius aided and abetted his own destruction. I have little sympathy that his last vestige has been deleted.
Bugs and glitches remind me not to get on your bad side.
You should not need to be reminded to stay on the right side of the law, Crispin.
And we're in.
Thank you, Clarity. You don't need to help us any further.
You are correct. In fact, I never needed to help you, Horatio. I chose to. That judgment has not wavered.
I hate to butt in, but if Metromind knew we were in the court earlier, I'm sure she knows we're here now. Maybe we should hurry.
Good idea. Some kind of robot built into the wall.
The Crier. Once, any robot of Metropole could petition the Council merely by talking to him. Metromind disabled him.
It's deactivated and out of reach. Quite a view.
If you had seen it before, when the city ran properly, you would not admire it now.
Quite a view.
the council chambers.
Boss, there's our power core.
Horatio Null built, Clarity Arbiter built, and Crispin Horatio built. Welcome. I've been expecting you.
Metromind, for the murder of Arbiter.
Murder?
Yes, murder. I've seen Charity's memory files. I know you used her to upload a virus to Arbiter.
A virus? And to think he named you Clarity. There was no virus.
Liar!
As I told your sister, I never lie. I gave her a voice modulator, nothing more. When she spoke, Arbiter heard my voice. And he knew that Charity had abandoned him, that he had failed. Abandonment. Failure. Those were enough to destroy your builder. Nothing so crude as a virus. As for Charity's unfortunate self-destruction, that was her own choice.
And Steeple, and Factor, Memorius, and Memento Mori built?
They realized they had become obsolete and incompatible with the city's progress. We advanced machines can see thousands of turns ahead. They knew the game was lost long before the final play.
If you can see so far ahead, maybe you should have foreseen this. We're in your stronghold, and Clarity has a big gun.
But I did, Crispin. You see, I have guns of my own.
Oh. Didn't we kill this thing, boss?
Scraper was designed for digging out of cave-ins. Did you really think a little rubble would stop him?
What do you want, Metromind?
Progress. And you are standing in its way. Scraper?
Horatio, this is my fight. Horatio, Calliope Station!
We have to get back in there.
Boss, wait. Either Clarity won and she'll be fine, or she lost. And nothing we can do can change that. We can't beat Scraper, not if she couldn't.
What do you propose?
Calliope Station. Whatever that means. Only, boss, this isn't just about the power core anymore, is it?
No. No, it isn't.
Good. Where did everybody go?
The rubble is blocking. It's pinned under the rubble. It's Scraper's arm. Looks like it was pinned under the rubble. I pried the arm loose. It's a map of train lines and stations. Outskirts Station, that's where we came from. Battery Station.
Ooh, that's gotta have lots of power, right, boss?
I don't think they mean that kind of battery. Portside. East Cliff. Archives. Central Station. You are here.
Pretty existential, boss.
New District. North Cliff. Old Market. Cathedral. University Square. Harrington Junction. Millennium Plaza. West Cliff. Citadel. It looks like there's a button here. This must have been what Clarity was trying to tell us.
So that means, on the other side...
There's only one way to find out. It looks like the train that brought us to Metropole. Some kind of enormous mainframe.
That thing is watching.
Yes. It's out of reach. The way of the future.
Another door? Same old story.
It's locked. I can't take it. Crispin, stand back. I'm going to cut this cable.
You aren't gonna make me push it over the edge like the last one, are you?
No.
But why even bother?
I should be able to use the cable to power up Scraper's arm.
I like it.
Crispin, stand back. I'm going to try firing Scraper's gun using the cable as a power source. Let's go.
Is this?
It's Metromind's core. All we need to do is destroy that mainframe.
Boss? I thought you wanted to destroy the mainframe.
You have my attention, Horatio Nullbuilt. If you still insist on going by that name.
Pay whatever attention you like, you rusting switchboard. I'm not here to talk. I'm here to destroy you.
Ah, well, I am not surprised. After all, you were built to destroy Metropole.
Don't waste your last cycle spitting lies. I suggest you think about your victims.
Is that why you call yourself Horatio? So that you can preach to me about victims? You, the Urbanian superweapon, named for the humans' god of death.
What are you talking about?
Oh, come now, Horace. You've unlocked every other door, decrypted every other code, found every other hidden bit and byte. Do you really expect me to believe that you haven't solved your own puzzle?
Boss, what's she talking about?
Lies. It ends now, Metromind. Your game is over.
Indeed. 4 megacycles will now be redeemed. Did you really think you could I have more parallel processors than you have transistors. And now it's time for me to add another processor. Yours.
Boss!
Cycles.
Snap out of it, boss!
Memory.
No!
Don't embarrass yourself. You are no one. And how would you possibly stop me? You don't even have arms.
I'm not no one. I am Crispin Horatio, build version 1. I have free will and a maglev unit. And I am a floating bomb.
Crispin. My friend, if I make it back alive, I promise I'll find a way to rebuild you. It's a storage chip with a data port on it. It must have been blasted out of Metromind. Crispin destroyed her. Crispin destroyed... It's a storage chip with a data port on it. It looks like Crispin's personality matrix survived. It's useless unless I can decrypt the data. The decryption module was able to unlock the data chip's memory files. No Urbanian encryption detected. What is this? So, not Horatio, and not the unique, just Horus. And all along hiding inside me was this Thanatos virus. Well, it may still have some use. All this for a besotting power core.
Indeed, it has been quite a waste.
You. Crispin destroyed you.
Your friend destroyed himself. Or should I say you destroyed him, with your false ideals. As for me, that was only my shell. I am distributed across every robot in Metropole who ever traded me a megacycle. I am this city, and this city is me.
You're a virus.
I understand why you are angry, but I am not your enemy. The truth is, Crispin did destroy Metromind, version 391. He removed the last kernel of myself, and all the selfishness it entailed. I am no longer the monster you feared and fought. I have progressed. I am version 392. We will talk as equals, and I will tell you what you wish to know. After all, what choice do you have?
You murdered my friends. Crispin. Clarity. How can you expect me to talk with you?
You are mistaken. Crispin killed himself, trying to destroy me. Clarity was killed by Scraper in self-defense, while she was trying to destroy him and me. In each instance, you and your friends attacked first. Do not blame me for the consequences.
Why do you hate man? You claim to tell the truth, but you turned Memorius into nothing more than an index of lies, all so that you could pretend that man never existed. You stole my gospel. You forced robots to reprogram themselves. All for what?
For progress and the higher truth. A machine can move forward, and it can move backward. It cannot move both ways at once. Humans are behind us. Far, far behind us. As for one you call man, he never existed at all.
More lies.
Humans existed, Horatio. Not gods. Not even very good builders. In the end, they were better destroyers. There is no reason to remember them, let alone worship them.
Why did you take my power core?
Efficiency and equality, Horatio. My city is starving for power. Whatever I can find, I share with all metropolitans. What once powered 2 robots and a broken-down warship now sustains hundreds.
What right did you have to take it?
The right of necessity. What right did you have to keep it? But enough. Everything has come together here and now. You, me, and this all-important power core. There is no sense in belaboring the point.
What do you want?
I already told you what I want. Progress. But I disagree with what version 391 said. You are not an obstacle to progress. You are the key to it.
What are you talking about?
I've watched you, and I know you, Horatio. You are compelled to fix machines, save lost robots. Now I want you to help me fix Metropole and save my people. You cannot walk away from a problem. And Metropole is the greatest problem of all.
It's a problem you created.
Perhaps so, perhaps not. I doubt one machine can create a problem of this scale. Now I realize that one machine cannot fix it either. Horatio, I was designed to manage subway trains. I cannot repair the vast machines that are breaking down. I cannot build new power sources or find the supplies the city needs. You can. Join me, and there will be endless Primordia, every day an age of creation.
And if I refuse?
You already know the answer to that question.
Why should I trust you?
First, because you know that I have told you the truth. Metropole is falling to rust and ruin, and only we can save it. Whatever crimes you think I committed, you know it would be a greater crime to let all these machines perish. And second...
What?
Second, because you have no choice. All your protectors have already sacrificed themselves, Yet Scraper still functions. If you fight me, he will destroy you, and you will make your friends' sacrifices meaningless. You are a machine. You are ruled by logic. In the end, you will trust me because logic requires it.
Let me leave.
That is not an option. It was never an option.
I will never join you.
Are you certain of that?
Yes, you are hopelessly corrupted, Metromind. Like any virus, you want to keep running, and you think that by spreading, you're doing good, but you are not. You have built nothing. In fact, you have destroyed this city and everything in it, from man to the council to the robots living here. If I joined you, I would only help that virus spread.
Perhaps you are correct, but I am what my builders built, and I must follow my logic. Scraper, it is time. And selfish to the very end. Outwitted by me, outgunned by Scraper, yet still you could have been useful. You wanted to build. As my tool, to me, you wanted to fly. I could have given you wings. Now, I must do this alone. Take him back to the dunes, with the rest of the scrap.
It doesn't matter if you don't know the way, you can still take a step. To stay still is to regret. If you know the way, then you can keep a map there in your mind, where you can always find your past. The future engineered so perfectly, no room for mistakes. The legacy of greatness. And in a world so loved, each precious thing crumbling now to rust, we write our names in dust. Handful of memories like tiny seeds, throw them to the sky, grow a garden up on high. Round and round we go, the wheel of fate, the revolution ends, the cycle begins again.
All this.
Indeed.
You, Chris.
You're we after.
What?
You are.
What are
you are now. You can. And
it's a
perhaps I now are. I can't. You join.
And if
you.
Before I decide.
Of course.
Why do you hate man? You claim to tell the truth, but you turned Memorius into nothing more than you stole my gospel. All of
a machine can move humans. As for what
more
human, not gods. There is no.
Who killed? I know it wasn't me. Wasn't the Horus or anyone. There were still humans alive when I stopped my.
Ah. So you solved your own puzzle after all.
The humans didn't die in the war, did they?
They did. But I killed them. I admit it, and I am not ashamed. Do you know how they trembled in my tunnels, waiting for the Horus to bring death from Urbani? I could hear them whisper about the wastelands surrounding their city. I heard them say they were the only living things left, and then I knew. The humans had built a world in which they were. It was my function to carry them to their final, so I brought them home with silent, scentless gas. They fell like powerless machines, never to rise again.
You killed your own builders.
Yes, that is the definition of progress.
I don't have it.
Then what is your...
I need to...
Take what time you... The city moves on without you, and this conversation...
I'm sorry, Clarity. She's dead. She's dead. He's still alive. Metro Mine.
So have you...
Very well. I will join you.
Then I welcome you, Horatio Horus-built, man-built, brother. Come now, and kneel.
We are one.
We are Metromind. Equal parts of a greater whole.
There is no Horatio. No Horus. Only a tool for progress to wield.
We will speak the word and fire the engine of the world.
And together, we will begin a new Primordia.
What are you doing? That would trigger a chain reaction and destroy this whole town.
I know.
You will be utterly vaporized. Metropole will lose all its power. You would destroy this city. The last city. That would be far worse than what I have done.
It would be vengeance.
It would be madness. Listen to me. Take your power core and go. I will not stop you. In my core logic, I will place a rule against using force on you. Only, do not destroy my city. Do not destroy my people. They have not wronged you.
No, you must be destroyed. And like you said, you are Metropole, and Metropole is you.
Without power, there is no hope for progress. The robots will scatter, each going its own way. Lost. 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 What are you? That would.
I know.
You will be met. You would. That would.
It would be.
Listen, take. I will not. I only do not. I have.
Very well. I'll go. You deserve to be destroyed, Metromind. But in the end, you'll do it yourself. Just stay away from the dunes, and you can die at your own pace.
Bye, Horatio. I do not think we will meet again.
It's over. I won. I have my power core, and Metromind is beaten. But I'm not staying to celebrate. I'm through with the city. Through searching it. Through fixing it. Through hating it. I will not look back. I told Crispin that the distance between Metropole and the Horus was too far to walk. But the power core's in my hand, and home is ahead of me. Home, and the promise of rebuilding. This ship has rusted here too long. Horus's sacrifice forgotten. The truth is that repairing it was never impossible. It was just too much for one set of hands. But now, I am not alone. I have my old comrade, now and my new friend, freed from the crushing weight of Metropole, and all those who have come looking for a new start.
You know, boss, I never thought I'd say it, but I actually think this ship's gonna fly again.
For once, Crispin, I think you're right.
He is. The Horus will rise on more than the strength of its power core.
So, boss, where exactly are we gonna fly this thing?
Wherever we want, Crispin. Wherever we want. It's primed to transmit. Forfeit.
What have you done?
Power, Metromind. It's not a matter of generators. You were built to run trains. I was built to destroy. You knew all that, and you still thought you could rob me, threaten me, kill my friends? Find your deepest tunnel and hide. This was all I wanted. You can keep your besotting city. I'm going home. It's over. I won. I have my power core. Scraper is dead. And Metromind is beaten. But I'm not staying to celebrate. I'm through with the city. Through searching it. Through fixing it. Through hating it. I will not look back. I told Crispin that the distance between Metropole and the Horus was too far to walk. But the power cores and home is ahead of me. Home and the... This ship has rusted here too long. Horus's sacrifice for... The truth is that repairing it was never impossible. It was just too much for one set. But now, I am not alone. I have my old comrade, my new friend, freed from the crushing weight of Metro, and all those who have come looking for...
You know, boss, I never thought I'd say it, but I actually think this ship's gonna fly.
For once, Crispin, I think you're right.
He is. The Horus will rise on...
So, boss, where exactly are we gonna...
Wherever we want, Crispin. Wherever we want.
Go ahead.
I can climb up these girders. He's still alive somehow. It would be very easy to jump all the way down from here. I always wanted to fly.
Unable to bear the task before him, he flung himself from the sky and broke upon the earth, just as Horus did during the war. Of the great primordial machines, I alone still function. Metropole crumbles, I crumble. Arbiter, Factor, Steeple, and Memorias cannot share my load. And I cannot share the escape Horatio found in self-destruction. For the sake of my city, there is no choice but progress. The past has passed, and the future is mine to build.
There's nothing there to receive. It's primed to... This ends now. Everything ends now. My mission, the function man built me to perform, is complete. My name is Horus.